Yeah, Orlando Brown Jr. here in studio. Orlando, a big AFC North game last Sunday. It was a tough one. You lost to the Steelers. How are you guys feeling after that game?
Yeah, it was a tough loss, man. We were right there. Kind of had them right where we wanted to be, especially heading into halftime. But man, it came down to a few plays that we weren't able to make, and, they were the better team that day.
I asked Zach Taylor this when we did our weekly sit-down, but I can't trust clocks anymore based on what happened in the first half.
Yeah.
What was that like for you guys on the field? Because we had the press box, we're like, how much time's left? Where's the play clock at? Yeah. Nobody had any idea. What was that like for the guys on the field?
Definitely a little weird, man. It's like the second game in a row where something going on against Baltimore. It was like a drone over the stadium. This time you got the clock not working. Which for me is always weird because I'm looking for down and distance, play clock, time of the game. All of those things matter, man. Situational football. So it was definitely a little strange.
Is that one of the more bizarre things that has happened to you? What's the most bizarre thing that's happened to you in a game?
Man, I think that's probably up there. The drone last week in Baltimore and the clock this week here in Paycor, man, those were two different scenarios I never dealt with.
It's been one of those years in the NFL. Orlando, you have another big game on the horizon. Prime time, Monday night, Jacksonville Jaguars. Tell me about that game.
They got a really good defensive unit, man. I think their coverage unit is one of the best in the NFL. They have been for the last few years. They got two really good defensive ends, man, that they drafted in top 5, both of the guys, one of them being a former number 1 overall pick. Their linebackers play really well. They've got Trevor Lawrence on offense, ETN. I know that they'll be missing their left tackle, man, but this is a really good football team that I think is definitely, I think they might be the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. So we're up there, man. They're a good football team. So.
Orlando, you're here in a jacket. It's a little cold out.
It is.
You get to go to Florida next week.
Yeah.
How nice is that you get to escape the cold a little bit and play in the heat a little?
It's nice, man. It's nice. It's always weird kind of playing in prime time later in the season, especially when you go to Florida. But man, we'll be ready to go.
Is it almost as much of an adjustment? Because right now you're playing and practicing in the cold. Yeah. Then you go back to the heat. Is it kind of a shock to the system the other way?
Yeah, I'm not going to really say that. You know what I mean? I just sometimes the harder part is the travel. You know what I mean? Is the fact I don't know how far Jacksonville is from here, but I imagine it's probably going to be a little close to 2-hour flight.
All right, let's look at your keys to beating the Jaguars. Take us through it.
Yeah, man, playing physical, winning the trenches on both sides of the ball, being able to run the ball, stop the run. Both of those things are important. Taking what the defense gives us, I think is going to be important as well. And as usual, man, protecting the football, winning that turnover battle.
For our Ask Orlando question this week, you guys have had ups, you've had downs. You have that every season. There's a lot that happens over 17, 18 weeks. So the question is, how do you keep that competitive drive during a long marathon of a season?
Yeah, it's kind of this answer is different for everybody. For me personally, man, I love the game of football, and I love being able to suit up, for a city like Cincinnati, for an organization like the Bengals. I've got friends here like Joe Mixon that I've played with, Cody Ford. All of those things go into it. I've got a great offensive line room, man, the camaraderie of our room. All of those things continue to keep me motivated throughout my career, and there's so many things that I want personally and as a team and for us, man, all of those things kind of go into it.
He's Orlando Brown Jr. Monday Night Football, Bengals in Jacksonville. Still a chance these guys can run the table and make it to the postseason.
You can always find our stories here on YouTube, but go ahead and tap subscribe. That way you're always in the know.